Hello, class. Today in class, I want to go over the material you're going to cover. So when you check Schoology, the agenda should look like this for Tuesday, October 13th. I'm going to go through the slides with you today, as well as explain the two assignments. There's a health triangle assignment and then a blue zone assignment that you'll get done today. So I'm just going to go right into the slides. Okay, so Unit 1 is personal health. And let's let it load. Okay, personal health. All right, so on this slide it says to get a piece of scratch paper. I'm going to ask you to kind of rate yourself in 3 different categories in a minute. You don't need a big piece of paper for this, but there'll be 3 different sections, 8 questions each, and you're just answering yes or no. So we'll get to that in a minute. All right, so your paper might be set up kind of like this, with physical health, mental and emotional health, social health, and we'll just tally marks when we get there. Okay, so let's talk about health. This is health class. So what is health? So health is the overall well-being of your body, your mind, and your relationships with other people. So this is our definition of health: the overall well-being of your body, your mind, and your relationships with other people. And you can see from the bullet points here that this includes your physical health. So everything about your physical body is your physical health. Anything related to your mind is your mental and emotional health. And anything relating to relationships with people is dealing with your social health. You can see from the little diagram on the screen that they can overlap with each other. For example, I just went for a walk, and that's physical health, right? Physical health. But I also might have really relieved some stress and some tension, which is going to improve my mental health. So you can see how one activity might be covered in a couple sections of health. Okay, so we're going to go over these 3 aspects of health one at a time. Physical health, mental and emotional. Technically, they're separate, but they're very similar, so we're going to combine them together. And then social health. So we'll say that these are our 3 aspects of health. So physical health. Physical health refers to how well your body functions. Some characteristics of a physically healthy person would be somebody that that has a healthy diet, somebody that gets regular exercise, somebody that gets adequate sleep, and I can't read that. Somebody that gets a proper medical and dental care. So they go to the doctor when they need to, and they go to the dentist twice a year for checkups. So those are just a couple of examples of things related to our physical health. Okay, now this is where I want you to use your little paper. So under the section that you have labeled physical health, we're going to just tally any yes response. I get at least 8 hours of sleep each night. Do you do that? If you can say yes, you do, then give yourself a tally mark. I eat a well-balanced diet each day. I drink at least 8 glasses of water daily. I keep my body, teeth, and hair clean. I do at least 60 minutes of moderate activity daily. I avoid tobacco, alcohol, and other drugs. I see a doctor and dentist for regular checkups. I am not suffering from any major health issues. So you could have up to 8 tally marks. I believe there's 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, up to 8 tally marks for this section. And don't worry if you only have a couple marks, only a couple things you can answer yes to. That's okay. That just means those are some areas you can improve upon. Okay, let's move on to mental health. So mental health is the state of being comfortable with yourself, with others, and with your surroundings. So characteristics of a mentally healthy person would be somebody with an alert mind, somebody that can learn from their mistakes, and someone that can recognize their achievements. Those are good characteristics to have. And then emotional health refers to how you react to events in your life. And characteristics of somebody with good emotional health would be that they can express their feelings appropriately, they can take time to relax, or they do take time to relax, and they take time to share with other people, as opposed to keeping everything bottled inside. And when they share with people, they're sharing in an appropriate manner. Okay, so let's rate ourselves again. So as I read these statements, if you can say, yes, that describes me, give yourself a tally mark under the section that you have labeled mental and emotional health. All right, first, I generally feel good about myself and accept who I am. I express my feelings clearly and calmly, even if I'm angry or sad. I manage my stress well. I have at least one activity that I enjoy. I do things that positively impact others, such as volunteer or community service work. I like to learn new information and develop new skills. I feel that my life has meaning and I have a sense of control over my life. I recognize emotional problems in myself or others and seek help when needed. Okay, so again, you could have up to 8 tally marks, and if you don't, that's okay. That doesn't mean you get a bad grade. That just means we have some areas to work on. All right, so that was the second type of health. So the third category of health will be social health. Social health refers to how well you get along with others. So characteristics of someone with good social health would be that they have loving relationships, they respect the rights of others, they give help, and they can accept help. So think about all the different sort of relationships that you have with like your peers, your friends, your family members, teammates, classmates, if you have a job, coworkers. How well do you get along with people? Do you fit in well? Do you have some good relationships or not? Okay, let's rate ourselves in this section. So same thing. Give yourself a tally mark if you can answer yes. I have at least one close friend. I respect and care for my family. I know how to disagree with others without getting angry. I'm a good listener. I get support from others when I need it. I say no if people ask me to do something harmful or wrong. I communicate clearly and use good active listening skills with others. I can be assertive and set personal boundaries with family, friends, and other people. Okay, so hang on to those little tally marks. We'll come back to that in a few minutes. So let's talk about something called the health triangle. You can see a picture up here. I want you to imagine a triangle. It is an equilateral triangle, which means it has 3 equal sides. One side of the triangle represents physical health, another side represents social health, and the other side represents mental health. This is a health triangle. If one side is longer or shorter than the other, then it will not be an equilateral triangle anymore. This is the same as the health triangle. Physical, mental and emotional, and social health must be balanced to live a truly healthy life. In fact, devoting more attention to one particular side while neglecting the others can lead to health imbalances. A lot of times when people think about health, they focus primarily on their physical health, like eating well and exercising, which is super important. But imagine a person who is so focused on their physical health that they're, working out hours a day and planning their meals in such a way that, they can't eat with their family members. And it's kind of pushing everything else out of their life. So now it's not just their physical health. Their physical health might be great, but their social and mental and emotional health might be a wreck. So we want to really try to have things in balance. Working on achieving and maintaining a perfect equilateral health triangle is a way to reach a level of good health. Not that you will ever get to perfect, but work towards it. Because I believe, especially when it comes to health, we can always improve. There's always things we can be doing to get better. All right, so this brings us to our health triangle assignment. So the assignment is called Health Triangle Assignment, and it is on Schoology. And for this assignment, you'll be identifying examples in each area of health of ways you are promoting your health, and examples in each area of health, ways that you can improve your health. Think of how you rated yourself today as we went over each area of health. How balanced would your health triangle be? So if there was 8 questions in each of those sections, could you give yourself 8 yeses? If so, that's great. But did you give yourself 8 on each side? If you have 8 for physical health and maybe 4 for mental and emotional health, and then maybe 2 for social health, it might be completely out of balance. So at this point, I'm actually going to exit out of here, and I'm going to go to Schoology and show you where this assignment can be found. All right, so going to our health class, and I've moved. I always try to have the most current stuff right under the agenda. So the personal health folder is right under the agenda. And when you open it, there's actually a little health triangle folder. So open that up. And that's where you will find the slides that I've been going over with you, and then the health triangle assignment. So let me open this real quick. Okay, so here is the assignment. Below is a picture of the health triangle. It shows the 3 areas that affect your health: physical, social, and mental and emotional. Complete the chart by naming 3 examples in each area of ways you are promoting each area of your health, and 3 examples in each area of ways you can improve your health. And I will show you my example in a moment. So there's our diagram. This is ideal. So on the left side, this is where, when it comes to physical health, I'll be writing down at least 3 things that I'm doing well to work on my physical health. If you want to add rows, go ahead. And then on the right side, when it comes to your physical health, what are some things you could improve upon? Same thing for social health. Things you're doing well on the left, things you could work on the right, and same for mental and emotional. And then there's a reflection question on the bottom, and the reflection question kind of goes back to where you rated yourself. If you had to put your behaviors into the form of a health triangle, how balanced would your health triangle be? Respond in the box below. Okay, if I go back up to the top of the page, it says here is an example. And when I click on the example, it is going to be this. Okay, so this is just some examples that I put in there. This is me. So I try to get 8 hours of sleep each night. I consume 8 glasses of water a day at least, and I work out almost every day. And then some examples of things I could improve upon. I could vary my exercise routine. I could push myself a little harder. I need to floss my teeth more. I need to put one more in here, but you get the idea. Things that I can work on to improve my physical health, things about my physical body. Okay, next category is social health. So thinking about all of the relationships that I have. So on the left, I said I have a few close friends. I have healthy relationships with my family, and I feel like I'm patient and I'm a good listener. Some things I can work on. I feel like I've become kind of a homebody, especially over the last few months. So I don't hang out with my friends very often. Next one says, I need to suggest activities to do with my daughters that they are interested in, not just activities that I want to do. That would help our relationship. And then I need to say no more often. I'm a person that says, yes, I'll help out, and I overcommit myself. But sometimes I just need to say no. All right, and that one could probably go down here under mental health as well. All right, and then mental and emotional health, some things I'm doing good. I express my emotions well, meaning I don't yell and scream. I'm pretty rational. I learn from my mistakes, and I really do like to help people. On the other hand, some things I can improve upon is how I worry a lot. I tend to get very overwhelmed and stressed out. And I need to practice all of the stress management and time management and relaxation methods that I encourage everybody else to do. I need to take my own advice. And then my reflection question on the bottom, thinking about how balanced my triangle is or isn't. This is my response. My health triangle would not be balanced. My physical health side would be the largest because I do many things to support my physical health. My social health would be a little bit smaller than my physical health, and my mental and emotional side would be the smallest. I can improve my health in areas, especially my mental and emotional health. Okay, so that is your assignment. And when I go back to Schoology here, it is in this Unit 1 Personal Health folder in the Health Triangle folder. So again, you have the slides first and the assignment right below it. Okay, let's go back to the slides and finish up, and then we'll get to the final assignment for the day. Okay, so moving on to the next topic, life expectancy. Let me make this bigger. So life expectancy means the number of years a person can expect to live. Do you know what the life expectancy is? As of 2017, that was the most current data we had. Any ideas? So this was published in July 2019, and the number was from 2017. The average life expectancy was 78.6 years. So that's average. That means that some people live longer, obviously, and some people die before that age. But that's what is average in the US. And over the last few years, the life expectancy has been decreasing. It was steadily increasing for many years, and now we're seeing a slight decrease. Any reasons why? These are the three. A rise in drug overdoses, and this is primarily from opioids, which could be even prescription pain medication. We also have an increase in people dying from liver disease and a rise in our suicide rate. Now, all of these numbers are from before COVID, so who knows how things will be if we look at the numbers for this year when that data becomes available. It will be interesting to see. All right, so let me back up real quick. So keep this in mind. In the US, the average life expectancy is 78.6. All right, so if you're going to live to be 78, 80 years old, what do you imagine your life to be like? What is your quality of life? So quality of life is the degree of overall satisfaction a person gets from life. Going back to this one real quick. Well, I'll come back and talk about my grandpas in a minute. Okay, you also need to know what this term goal is. A goal is a result that a person aims for and works hard to reach. For many people, having a high quality of life is one of their goals. High quality of life doesn't necessarily mean that you're rich and famous, right? It means you're satisfied with your life. You're happy with your life. All right, and then we need to know what the continuum is, the health continuum and the term continuum. So a continuum is a gradual progression through many stages between one extreme and another. The health continuum is the full range of health between the extremes of illness or poor health and wellness or ideal health. And this is what it looks like. So this picture here, like this double-ended arrow, this is the health continuum. So we have illness on the left, poor quality of life, wellness on the far right, a high quality of life. And I've numbered this because sometimes in class I'll ask students to kind of rate themselves. But this is where I wanted to talk about my two grandpas. So both of my grandpas lived into their 90s. My dad's dad was 97 when he passed away, and I would say his quality of life was way down here on the right side. He was a 9 or a 10. He was still walking. He was still driving in his 90s. He was active. He was alert. He had an alert mind. He had an enthusiasm for life. If I look down below here, this is my grandpa. He had, for somebody who's 97, he had a high energy level. He just loved life. He had very supportive relationships, tons of friends, good family relationships. Awesome, high quality of life. My mom's dad lived to be 98, and I would say he was way down here. He After my grandma died, he just kind of went downhill really quick and ended up in a convalescent home and ended up in a wheelchair and in diapers and didn't know who anybody was. And down here, like if I look at the description, low energy level, definitely. He didn't really have any prolonged illness, but he was just declining in health. Isolated from others for sure, because he lived in a convalescent home alone. So if I have both of my grandfathers live to be well into their 90s, their late 90s, chances are I'm going to be kind of old too. So I take care of my body, and I want to make sure that I'm doing things that push me towards the wellness end of the continuum. I always say nobody's ever perfect, but we can always improve, right? So I really do think about this a lot. Like I make choices in my life that will head me to the right side of this continuum towards the wellness end as opposed to the illness end. I'm not perfect. I goof up and I make poor choices too. But more often than not, I'm working towards the wellness end of the continuum. All right, so let's think about you. I'm not going to ask you to do this in an assignment, but just think about yourself right now. If I ask you to take into account your physical, mental, and emotional and social health, and we put it all together, where would you place yourself on this continuum? So you can see the numbers there on a scale of 1 to 10. Where would you place yourself? Would you be towards the illness end, the wellness end, or somewhere in the middle? But even more important, on the bottom, it says, what can you do to improve your health? We can always do things to get better, right? What can you do, even if you're down there at a -3? What can you do to move towards the wellness end? All right, I am wondering if any of you have ever heard of blue zones. Blue zones are places in the world where people live the longest and they are the healthiest. So, talking about life expectancy, they have a high life expectancy. They have a very high quality of life. They're very satisfied with their life. And I would probably say most people would put themselves on the wellness end of that continuum. They have it figured out in these blue zones. So, there are blue zones. There's, I think 5 or 6 blue zones throughout the world. And within all of these blue zones, they have discovered that there are these common denominators, these behaviors, or these the way that they think, the way that they live, that they see in all of these different areas, even though they might be completely across the world from each other. So these are the categories. They all move naturally. They may not go to a gym or lift weights or ride an exercise bike, but they all move naturally. They're just active people. They all have a sense of purpose, and they take time to downshift, to kind of take a break and reset. When it comes to their diet, they eat wisely. So they follow the 80% rule, which you'll learn about in the video. They have a plant slant. Not that they're all vegetarian, but they definitely focus on plant-based meals. They have wine at 5. Now, this isn't cocktail hour. They're not going to a bar and getting drunk every night at 5, but they have a glass of wine in the evening. And then they connect with people. So they have a good tribe, a good group of supportive people. They put their loved ones first, and they have a sense of belonging. And as I said, in these blue zones throughout the world, we see all of these common denominators. All right, so the second assignment for you to do is to watch this TED Talk on blue zones. It's about 20 minutes long, so give yourself some time to watch it. And then on Schoology, there is the assignment to complete. So the video is linked here. It's also linked on the agenda today, and it's also on Schoology. So if I go back to Schoology where we were earlier in that Unit 1 Personal Health folder, and then, into the Unit 1 Personal Health folder, sorry, it's right here, the Blue Zones assignment. So the assignment after you watch the video is linked here as well. If I click on this, here is my assignment to submit on Schoology. There's 8 sections to fill out over here under the Your Response column. Okay? So last thing I want to do is just go back to the agenda today and make sure you get through everything you need to. So at this point, we've gone through all the slides together if you were paying attention, but you have the link to the slides here on the agenda, also in Schoology. You're going to complete the health triangle assignment. And remember, I had provided that example for you. And then you're going to watch the Blue Zone video and complete the assignment. And if you have any questions as you're working on this, please email me. That would be what you would do. Email me. All right. Thank you guys. Take care, and I will see you tomorrow at school.